Hey guys, welcome to another Vlogmas video. If you guys are following my Vlogmas calendar, what generally tends to happen is I deviate from the plan a little bit, which is what I'm doing already. Today I'm gonna swap, I think, today's video and tomorrow's video plan. If you guys want to see my booktube calendar, it is over on my Patreon. You don't have to pay to see it, but I have it posted there. The link is always below, and I will try to leave it up in the cards over here as well. You can hop over and see the videos I plan on doing for the month, but I might not 100% follow through. I like to change things up sometimes. Okay, so I have a basket of books from the library and an entire shelf plus some of books from the library. So I thought I would do a library haul. The reason I wanted to move this up a little bit is because I want help picking books, I think. There's certain ones I'm in the mood for, and I kind of would like your guys' confirmation that I should read those. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have all my books here. I've got a variety of genres. Like I said, a whole basket plus some of middle grade. And lately, I've just been in the mood for fantasy. I did that reading fantasy for a week vlog and read a bunch, and lately that's just what I've been in the mood for a lot. So I'm not going to talk about these for very long. A lot of them I don't know a lot going in. I'm curious about them for different reasons. So one of the books, my favorite book from November, was A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. And so I instantly went on my library site and requested all the other books that that author published under the T. Kingfisher name. So one of them is A House with Good Bones. I think it says Southern Hospitality to Die For. Of course, it's kind of covered up. I don't know anything. It's a haunting Southern Gothic. That would be a little different than A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking, but it's actually quite short, 230 some pages. Very curious. If you guys have read this one and think I would like it, let me know. And then her other one is Nettle and Bone. This has such an interesting cover. I'm assuming this one is more fantasy. Oh, yeah. This isn't the kind of fairy tale where the princess marries a prince. It's the one where she kills him. So also, once again, quite short, 240 pages. These are like kind of shorter than average size books too, I think. They're more like middle grade size. Yeah, so they're smaller than normal. I'm intrigued. And A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking was so good that I want to try more of her books. So currently these are pretty high on my want to read list. Then this one is just one of these books that have been buzzing around that I want to read. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I have got this book out from the library a few times and it keeps having to go back before I can read it. The last time I had it out, I think, was during that fantasy vlog, and quite a few people said they liked it, so I want to give it a try. I don't really know much. Cambridge professor Emily Wilde is a genius scholar who's writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. And this just also feels like the kind of thing I'm in the mood for. And I love the cover. So there's that. When I mentioned I wanted to read that book in my fantasy vlog, someone mentioned this one, The Grace of Wild Things. I think this might be a middle grade fantasy. Grace has never been good at anything except magic. Not that anyone believes her. While other children are adopted from the orphanage, nobody wants Grace. She decides to make a home for herself by running away and offering herself as an apprentice to the witch in the woods. So, I don't know. I'm maybe more in the mood for like an adult fantasy as opposed to a middle grade, but like I said, I'm just in the mood for fantasy. This one is not fantasy. This is Kate Morton's Homecoming. This is one of my like anticipated releases of the year, and I have it on NetGalley. I haven't been reading any of my NetGalley books. I've stopped requesting them. I want to like clear out my NetGalley, but I need to read them physically. So Kate Morton usually does dual or sometimes more historical fiction and then like present day kind of mystery-esque, kind of gothic-esque. In the summer I read The Lake House and it really made me more excited to read this book, but I still haven't picked it up because it's almost 550 pages long. Like, Kate Morton writes really long books. So while I would like to read this as soon as possible, I also know with Vlogmas going on, I don't have a lot of time in December. So I wish I could just like speed read so fast and just get it all in without having to read all the pages sometimes. I mean, reading is not a competition, but sometimes when you have so many books you want to read, it's hard to figure out how to read them all. This is another one I was anticipating. He Should Have Told the Bees by Amanda Cox. Her books always make me cry. I have it on NetGalley as well. Would really like to read this. This one would be a faster read for me. I generally find Christian fiction to be pretty quick. I don't know anything about it, and I kind of don't want to know anything, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Then I got this book out, and I can't remember if this is the first one. I think this is a series or duology or companion novels. Lost in Darkness by Michelle Greep. This one was recommended to me, or I can't remember if it's this one or the other one that goes with it, on my Gothic recommendations video, because I've also been in the mood to read like eerie stories. So this is Christian fiction. Once again, that's all I know. The other one is like The Man, I can't remember what it's called, and I can't remember which one comes first. But we're in England in 1815. Even if there be monsters, there is none so fierce as that which resides in man's own heart. Sounds interesting. I also have The Forgotten Book. This one I think was originally written in German, and one of my patrons has read it and recommended it, and she has really good taste. She knows really good books to recommend to me, so I don't actually remember anything about it, but as soon as I saw on Goodreads that she rated it 5 stars, I requested it from the library, and then she raved about it in one of our Patreon book clubs as well, so then it like definitely went on my list, but it's been sitting on my shelf now for a little bit and I haven't picked it up, so I need help making decisions, I think. Okay, I have a bunch of nonfiction. I'm just gonna breeze through these. I got The Geese of Beaver Bog because I've been obsessed with geese this year. And then I got this, The Bronte Sisters, The Brief Lives of Charlotte, Emily, and Anne out because I was reading My Plain Jane in, what month was that? That was just last month, in November. And I wanted to read more about the Brontes, but I didn't read this, and I would like to, but once again, so many books. This one is For the Children's Sake by Susan Schaefer Macaulay. This is a homeschool book that I have gotten out from the library multiple times, and I usually have to wait like 6 months for it to come in, and then I never get to it, so I bring it back and then I put another hold on it. So I should maybe just read that one. I also got The Homing Instinct. This is about migration. This is by the same guy that wrote the Goose book. Someone recommended this author to me because I was just having some obsessions with geese. This book I get out every year or two. It's The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden, and this is just literally her like sketchbook, month by month, in, what year was it? 1906. So I just love it. I would love to own a copy of this. I don't usually like read it. I would love to own a copy and read it like month to month, but I love flipping through it. It's gorgeous. Okay, now onto my middle grade books. So many. I got The School for Whatnots by Margaret Peterson Haddix. My daughter just read this and I think told me I should read it. I usually enjoy Margaret Peterson Haddix's books. Don't know what it's about. I have The Secret of Whitestone Gate. This is book 2 after The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. So I read that one I think in October. So I would like to, I think it's just a duology. I would like to complete that. I have The Ghost of Midnight Lake. I think someone recommended this, but I don't remember who or why. It's 1899, and we've got 12-year-old Lady Agatha is cast out of her home by her cruel cousin Clarence, who inherits everything. In a tiny, tumble-down cottage, she struggles to adjust to her new life and the stranger who claims to be her real father. Sounds interesting. This one is, unbeknownst to me, is actually an Indigenous story. It is We Still Belong, and it says, today's a big day for Wesley Wilder. Her poem about Indigenous Peoples Day will be printed in a school newspaper. So I'm curious because our foster kids are Indigenous and there's not a whole lot of books out there, especially like middle grade books out there that feature Indigenous characters. I have Alias Anna, a true story of outwitting the Nazis. I don't know why I got this time. I know I've heard good things about it. The Germans invade Ukraine, and a young Jewish girl must leave behind her friends, her freedom, and her promising musical future at a world-renowned conservatory. So there's that. Grave Mistakes. I honestly don't remember requesting this, so I don't know why I did. I obviously was going on a middle grade kick. The International House of Derliction? Oh man, why am I so bad at words? A Beating Heart, A Condemned House, a trio of restless ghosts. What could go wrong? I think that this is when I was going on the middle grade gothic phase there. This one though is different. The First Magnificent Summer. I'm really not in the mood for a summer book, so maybe I'll just like bring that one back. The Bravest Warrior in Nefaria. Also know I heard about this one somewhere, but don't remember where. Welcome to Nefaria, where nearly every day the kingdom faces another evil scheme. Most are harmless, though the citizens of Nefaria simply learn to live with the latest hijinks and go on with their lives. Everything changes, however, when Bobbert follows his classmates to a cursed gumball machine. This sounds like something up my son's alley. We've got B. Bakshi and the Gingerbread Sisters. No idea. This one was newly published. I think I saw this one when I was book shopping and the cover caught my attention. And then there is the last one here is a Jacqueline Woodson story. This one is Remember Us. And I think this one just came out as well. And I've enjoyed some of her books. So this one is After the Year of Fire, vines rise up through the rest of our lives, of smoke, a flame of memory, as if to say, we're still here, as if to say, remember us. So, I don't know. As of right now, I personally would say that I'm most interested in Nettle and Bone, A House with Good Bones, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, The Forgotten Book, Lost in Darkness, and Homecoming, even though this one's huge. If you guys would like me to read one of these in the next little bit, oh, it's sunny over there, leave a comment below, and I kind of just go with like majority wins. I'll pick up that one first out of this stack, and let me know if you guys have loved like more than one of these, or if there's one that I shouldn't read, you don't think I'll like it. Let's just talk about books in the comments below. I will be back again tomorrow with yet another video.